Hello, everyone. I wanted to just start by restating the obvious, which is that the impeachment investigation essentially ended yesterday in substance, if not in form, with the explosive revelation that Mr. Smirnov's allegations about Ukrainian Burisma payments to Joe Biden were concocted along with Russian intelligence agents, and it appears like the whole thing is not only obviously false and fraudulent, but a product of Russian disinformation and propaganda. And that's been the motor force behind this investigation for more than a year. As for today's transcribed interview with the brother of President Biden, Mr. James Biden, we obviously, again, have heard nothing indicating that Joe Biden had anything to do with the business ventures of Hunter Biden or James Biden. And nothing has contradicted that basic understanding that we've had for many, many months now. So that's essentially where we are. Again, I'm restating my call to Chairman Comer, to Speaker Johnson, to fold up the tent to this circus show. It's really over at this point.
I want to be perfectly clear about what's happened here, basically to wrap it up in a nice little bow so that everybody understands. Republicans moved to impeach Joe Biden largely on the back of this spooky 1023 form, which is a confidential human source form containing allegations about Joe and Hunter Biden. It turns out that the informant was not only lying on that form, which resulted in him being indicted by the DOJ for giving false statements, which unto itself would be enough to deliver a death knell to this entire sham impeachment process, but even worse, we now know that the same lying informant whose testimony served as the basis for impeachment was fed that bogus intel by the Russians. In other words, a hostile foreign power fed what they knew would be damaging information to a bunch of partisan hacks in the GOP through some useful idiot who presented himself as a legitimate source and used that info to end Joe Biden's presidency. To call this meddling would be the understatement of the century. The Kremlin is an enemy of the United States of America, an enemy to democracy everywhere. And the fact that the Republican Party is fine with that, well, that should tell you everything you need to know. Need more proof that the GOP is in the tank for Putin? They have consistently and continuously stood in the way of aid to Ukraine, which is right now vying for its own freedom against Russia. At first, Republicans claimed that the only way they would pass Ukraine aid is if it was tied to a completely unrelated border bill. What our allies fight for freedom has to do with our southern border, I'll never know. But even still, Democrats played ball and introduced a bill that included massive concessions on the border, all in exchange for Ukraine aid. And then the GOP balked, with Mike Johnson calling it dead on arrival in the House. The goalposts will never stop moving because at the end of the day, this is not a good faith negotiation. It's just a bunch of bullshit excuses put forward to buy Republicans time while they fulfill their actual goal, which is to help Putin, because his goals and their goals are aligned. Think about it. He wants to destroy NATO. He knows that Trump is a useful idiot who will help them do it. And as a result, Republicans know that Russia will help them win elections. The fact that they were the cause of a now indicted lying informant offering information that nearly got Joe Biden impeached is a testament to exactly that. Russia will interfere and Republicans will give them the green light to do it. And let's be clear, the jig is up. Aside from Jamie Raskin, here's another member of the House Oversight Committee, Jared Moskowitz, making the absurdity of this whole sham process abundantly clear. James Comer, speaking of, he basically predicated this whole Biden impeachment effort on whistleblower testimony from guys like Alexander Smirnov, who was just arrested and charged with making false statements about Joe and Hunter Biden. What's left of the impeachment effort at this point?
Well, I mean, first of all, thoughts and prayers for James Comer and his impeachment inquiry, because it is done. It is finished. They should end it. They should go get a shovel, bury it in the backyard. Because this was the birth, the 1023 form. Remember all the yelling about the 1023 form, the 1023 form. We had to go into a skiff and view the 1023 form. Well, the guy who put all of that information into the 1023 form was indicted. Why was he indicted? Because he was indicted because he made it all up. All of it. It's all a lie. The $5 million payment to Joe Biden, the Bidens. Remember, we heard this for months. All a lie. And look, James is 2-0. 2-0. This is his second informant who has been indicted for lying. Let's not forget the the Chinese foreign agent who was selling Iranian oil and arms to the Libyans also was indicted several months ago for lying as well. And so, yes, this has been a lie. Don't get me wrong, Hunter Biden has gotten himself into some trouble that he's going to have to deal with. But that has nothing to do with this entire scope about Joe Biden. It is over. Did they know? And this is the real question, Brian. How long has James Comer known that Alexander Smirnov, insert alcoholic joke here, how long did he know, Comer, what Smirnov said or what was in that form was false? How long did he know that maybe Smirnov was being investigated, perhaps? How long did he know? And depending on how long he has known, why did he conceal that? He owes that not just to the members of the committee, he owes that to the members of the House, and Comer owes that to the members of the American public who, for a year now, he has gone in front of to talk about this 1023 form.
But the poorly kept secret here? It won't matter how embarrassing this gets for James Comer and the rest of the Republican House Oversight Committee, because it was never about the facts. The whole thing was always about perpetuating the optics that Joe Biden has done something wrong. They know that if they repeat it enough, that eventually people will start to believe it. And sure, they may go radio silent about this 1023 form, but they'll find some other vague issue to cling on to until that too is debunked, and on we'll go. Again, this is not about the facts, this is about a narrative. And that narrative will continue until the election, because Republicans have one goal: to present Joe Biden as corrupt in an effort to cancel out Trump's corruption. They know that they're not going to be able to convince anyone that Trump's hands are clean, but if they can convince everyone that Biden's hands are just as dirty, then Trump's corruption won't be as big a factor in the next election. It is an entire strategy built on manipulating the very people who are gullible enough to have placed their trust in Republicans. I've said it before and I'll say it again: Republicans may claim to hate the Democrats, but in reality, there is no one they have more contempt for than their own supporters. What we can't do, though, is keep quiet about this, because you better believe that Republicans will seize on any vacuum and fill it with disinformation. It'll be Hillary's emails 2.0. So the next time anyone on the right is talking about the FBI informant who bravely came forward and blew the whistle against Hunter and Joe Biden, let them know that not only is he now indicted for lying, but he is literally a Russian asset. You'd be just as well off getting your news from Russian-sponsored state TV. Although, if that's what you're looking for, you might as well just listen to today's Republican Party. Before you go, I need some help. Please subscribe to this channel and do your part to help grow the progressive media ecosystem. I don't do sponsorships or paid ads, I won't ask for money, but just subscribing to this channel goes a really long way, and it helps get the message out to more people. The subscribe button is right here on the screen. You can also subscribe to my Spanish language channel, which I made to reach those crucial Spanish-speaking voters. That link is on the screen too. And finally, if you want to listen to my audio podcast, you can follow that link as well. Thanks so much for watching.